Hey guys, it's Jessica. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite activities for introducing articulation at the conversation level. Hey guys, so one of my favorite activities, my favorite ways in general actually, to move from teaching articulation in sentences is to use reading passages to structure, kind of scaffold my lessons to going from sentences to conversations, because we know that can be a really big jump for some students. So what I've found is using reading passages kind of marks the middle ground between, like a sentence and full-on expectation of, I'm going to ask you a question, you need to answer it perfectly with all of your R's. Okay, that's a big deal for some kids. And that's totally fine. So that's, like I said, why I like to use reading passages. Now, I will be honest, I don't like to use just any reading passage when I am first starting out with this skill, because I want it to be as, first of all, scaffolded as possible. I want it to have a lot of support. Second, I want it to have a ton of repetitions of their target word. So I looked around and I couldn't find anything that I actually was really satisfied with. So I created my own. Here are what mine look like, just to show you right here. All right, and let me tell you about them just to break it down a little bit more. So I have several bundles actually that I've created. I have the original set, which has every later developing sound. So I'm talking S, Z, SH, TH, J, pre-vocalic R, all of the vocalic R's, and TH. And for each of those sounds, guys, I wrote 5 reading passages, and it was really tricky because you don't have just 1 or 2 target words. Like, you're talking 30 repetitions of your word in one of these reading passages. They don't all exactly have 30, but some of them I made do. So maybe like 20 to 30 times to practice your target sound. What's really cool about these are the questions that I give you on this side to kind of guide it through for you. They're really scaffolded and they're extremely strategic. So it works from easiest to hardest. First one is listen to me read the passage. Me being the teacher, the parent, whoever, because these are also great to send home or work on with another teacher. And the student has to listen and highlight all of the or whatever sound words are in that passage. So what's really cool about this is it works on their auditory discrimination skills. A lot of times students might learn a passage, for example, EAR words. If you're just looking at it, sometimes it looks like ear, but sometimes it says air. So it makes them not just rely on the spellings, but have to really listen to the words. Same with like S and the S and Z phonemes. Now, after that, for the R ones, they have to go through and circle all the other R words. And then they practice saying the word from the passage 5 times. They do this, as you can see, in order. We're focusing on listening and finding, and then we're gonna start just practicing at the word level. Okay, this is because I want them to be aware of the word that they're gonna practice, that it has their sound before they start practicing it. Next, they are going to read the story that has already been all highlighted and marked up so they can visually see where all of their words are. They're going to read it using their best sound. And then then they're going to turn the paper over. Oh, sorry, my hair's got in your way. They're going to turn the paper over and they're going to retell the story from memory and see how it's just gotten just a little bit harder. So I took away the visual cue now. Next, the student is going to answer questions related to that story. So it might be, sometimes it's vocabulary, sometimes I made questions that were just similar, like this question for this one particular one is, have you ever visited your grandparents' house? What did you do there? So it's related, but it's less structured. So throughout each process, it's very scaffolded and it's very strategic. So I actually have, like I said, the original bundle has 5 of each sound. I've also created a summer bundle, or summer version, a fall version, and a Christmas version, and I've bundled all of those together that you can get at a 30% discount. So I will link the all of those passages in the description below if this sounded like a cool way to help facilitate getting kids from sentences to conversation with their articulation goals.